Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today is extra super special because my friend Frankie is here with me today. And actually what's really cool about having Frankie come on set is she and I get talking and we'll be working on something and all of a sudden an idea for another craft will come to us. So even though we planned 20 shots for today and 20 different projects, this one came out of just Frankie and I talking, and now we have a new craft to show you. So, Frankie, should we tell them what's in the project? Okay, so we got duct tape, we've got an X-Acto knife, scissors is always good to have, feathers, right? And a pen that you can take apart. You need to have a screw type pen. Okay, so shall we tell them what this is for? Because we've been talking so much about...
Yes.
What?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. So both of us are Harry Potter geeks. Can I call you a geek?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, it's okay. All right, so we're both Harry Potter geeks, and she was making a Tom Riddle secret diary, super secret diary with me, and we made a pen, and she was like, you know, what would be really, really cool is if it was a Quill pen, because that's a Harry Potter thing. So we came up with this idea to make a Quill pen, right? And this is our Quill pen. So shall we show them how to make it?
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing first, you get to choose the feather. We're going to go with this white one. Okay, so one thing about the feather that's most important is we got to make sure that it has a thick quill. And what I mean by that is that the base, you know how some of them are those little light fluffy wuffy ones? The light fluffy wuffy ones aren't going to work. We really want something that has a quill on it. So Frankie, take that and just give that a snip right about there, at the kind of at the fattest part there. That's it. Woo! We shot the cameraman. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this pen apart.
Okay.
So we just take this top off, right? Can you pull that on out of there? There we go. So you pull the ink part out of the pen. Just be very careful that you don't squeeze it because you don't want the ink to come flying out. And now she's just going to insert that into the end. Did that stick for you? Awesome. Cool. There you go.
Push it a little more.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent. So, as you can see, you've got yourself a very cool quill pen. Now, one of the things that we discovered is that, you know, as you're working with something this thin, it's a little
Tricky.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's a little flexible. It doesn't feel real strong in your hand. And so we were afraid that we didn't want it to break. And so because of that, we're going to actually use a little bit of our handy dandy duct tape to make it a little stronger. So, Danny, I'm going to cut a few pieces here.
I'm Frankie.
You are Frankie. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, Frankie. So Frankie, I am going to cut you a couple pieces here. And basically, feathers everywhere. Feathers everywhere. What we're going to do is take this and just basically lay it right on top there like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're going to just wrap it around.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll cut you a couple more pieces while you're at it. So these are about 2-inch squares, Frankie.
Okay.
And I think, what do you think? We're going to need about 3 or 4 of them, you think?
Yeah, I think so. It seems about right.
Okay, there we go. Excellent. So now you got a couple more here you can add onto that. This is just going to make it a little stronger, make it easier to actually write with. But it actually does work, which is kind of fun. And you might find that you need to, start all the way at the very end. So you place your tape at the very, very end and then roll it. And then that's going to line up nicely with the one that you put on the top there. And you just keep rolling it around. And maybe one more piece, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Go all the way down to the bottom. There you go. Now, while she's finishing this up, I will I will explain why we had a little faux pas with names there. Because as much as this was Frankie's inspiration, the person who really suggested this was actually sitting in our audience watching us film this. And I'm going to ask her to come on up right now because I want to introduce you. Who's this little person who's joining us, Miss Frankie?
This is my sister Daniela.
And we call her...
Danny.
Right, which is why I called Frankie Danny, because I had Danny on the mind. So Danny, this was actually your idea, wasn't it? Would you like to tell everybody what you... Well, I will tell you everybody what she did because she doesn't have her microphone on. But here's the deal. She came up on stage while we were filming, and she said, you ought to use those feathers to make a feather quill pen. And both Frankie and I looked at each other and we were like, "Ding!" Yeah, that's exactly what we should do.
I thought of that because my sister, someone in our family gave her like a quill thing with like an little part of ink. So I thought of that and I thought, oh, you have like a little you have feathers, and then you can pick whatever color, and you have like something you can make the little pen part with. So you can just like write. You can make one of those little journals and then write with it in your journal.
Exactly. Well, there you have it. And see, this is why we call this a magical day, because I get these two amazing, creative kids who come to my world and hang out with me and inspire me. So for more inspired ideas that come from munchkins like these guys, come and check me out at sophie-world.com. Excellent.
This is for you, okay? You get to keep that.
Makeup brush.